right, and today we're back at it, y'all. Still planting cucurbit varieties. This is a muskmelon. I believe it's it's not a Casaba type. This is yeah, it's a Casaba type. Santo, Domingo, Casaba, and this is from Native Seed Search. So this variety should be very drought tolerant. And it should be perfect for planting in this 93-degree weather. I tell you what, I haven't even gotten started yet, and I'm dripping sweat, y'all. So let's hurry up and get this over with. You can see it on my arms, so you can imagine how I look. I'm covered in sweat, but I'm out here and I'm ready to get to planting. So today I have the Santo Domingo Casaba. I have Jobe's Organic, my go-to fertilizer. I don't use anything else unless I just can't get my hands on the Jobe's. And then I have this compost and manure. Now, if you notice, I have 4 of them already filled up. It's because I just wanted to have that out the way. And I just have 1 more that I'm gonna fill up. And I wanted y'all to see that I'm actually planting the I'm planting the seedlings into the containers, and the roots will go into the soil. So that's what these are right here. I didn't want to start the video like that, and any newcomers to my videos and to my growing methods, I didn't want anybody to be confused and thinking that I'm just growing in 6-inch containers. I am growing in 6-inch containers, but the roots are going even further than those 6-inch containers. So let's get this one filled in first, and then we'll continue with the next steps. I also have some water with me, so I came fully prepared today. I mean, considering how hot it is, why wouldn't I have water, right? So I'm just getting handfuls of this compost here, compost and manure mix, which is my go-to mix to use. I try to use the cheapest ingredients available, but also organic. So you can see it on here. It all it talks about is just organic. It doesn't say organic compost and manure, but somewhere on the bag it mentions for organic gardening. So I'm not going to sit there and bother trying to find it, but I know it's labeled on there. Oh man. So as usual, I started the seeds on napkins, have the bag filled with water, and I'm going to just pour that water out there, use it for get 2 uses out of once. That water it loosens the seedlings up from the Ziploc. These Ziplocs are basically one-time use. I wouldn't even dare try to put a variety inside of a Ziploc after I've already put another variety in there. It could be risk of disease or whatnot. So one-time use. Beautiful root system on this one. And as I mentioned in the previous video, the seedlings will not develop true leaves until they are out of the Ziploc. Let's get him back here first. Are we seeing that? Yes. So I'm just basically making a big enough hole for the roots to fit into. I'm not trying to get the roots in contact with the soil. I make a hole and I circle the roots inside of the hole. So the root is reaching about the middle of the container, and it will dig down through the container on its own. So there's still some living grass that's beneath this container, but after a couple of days it'll get smothered out. So that's why I don't really worry about pulling that grass up. It's gonna get smothered out. Some of it will, the tenacious grass, with just the grass that's just super vigorous and doesn't give up. It might come through, but it doesn't bother the plants at all. So some seedlings are bigger than others, but they will all do equally well. And it looks like I actually gonna need more containers. I counted the seeds through the bag and I thought there was only 5 good ones. But it looks like I was luckily mistaken. So I'm gonna have more seedlings than I thought. Now you can see a seed fell and this one didn't sprout. With these, I normally just pop them into the container and I put another one that did sprout. I pop them into the container in case they might sprout. So you can see this one sprouted not too long ago. Has a nice taproot on there. This is perfect. I actually like them to be just like this right here. This is absolutely perfect. I could slide it into that hole straight and it'll reach close to the middle of the container and it'll just continue growing downwards. So according to Native Seed Search, Santo Domingo Casaba is supposed to be a real sweet variety. I can't tell you much about it. This seedling here for some reason split in half. If I had something to graft it to, I probably could keep it alive, but I'm gonna just pop it in here just in case it wants to decide to develop another root system. But this is his root system right here. I don't know how that broke, but that was a beautiful one. But sadly, it's that's a goner. I'm gonna mulch with that. That is a goner. And this one too, what's going on? Oh man. Well, we're gonna still pop you into a container. You never know, they could, I've witnessed some that it came up. So I guess I did only need 5 containers. These seeds here, they look like they want to sprout. I'm not sure what's going on with them. I'm just gonna pop them all into one container and hope for the best. These have like mildew developing on it. Still gonna pop that into the container. Pop it into this one. And honestly, if they do come up, I don't mind having a couple of seedlings in each container that'll still grow. It's not like they're growing together, you know, in a container. Their roots are gonna go downwards into this unlimited earth. So next up, since we finished with all the Santo Domingo Casaba seedlings, oh, here goes one more seed. That one looks like it had mildew, so if you leave them too long, they can start developing mildew. It could have been a bad seed also. So now it's time for Jobe's Organic to do its duty. All right. And I realized that it won't burn the roots, but if you put too much of it near the plant stem, it could burn the plant stem. And I noticed that on the Desert King variety, so now I'm gonna be careful about that. I'll still put a good amount in these containers, but I'm gonna make sure that it's not in contact with their, well, I'm gonna make sure there's not too much of it in contact with the plant stem. So this fertilizer is potent. It even for what is it? It's like a 444 or something like that. Can't see the numbers right now. So just like that, but make sure it's not on that plant stem. But this stuff is potent even for a low nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium fertilizer. Let's see what it is. 253. But it's potent. I mean, that thing has those plants standing up. So that's that. And then all we have left, water. Now if these seeds come up on this container to the left, I'm gonna fertilize it. If not, I'll find something else to put right there and then fertilize. But for now, we're just gonna water these guys in so they're gonna survive, because this is a variety from Native Seed Search. They specialize in drought tolerant varieties, but just wanna make sure they thrive. Not so much focused on them surviving, more focused on them thriving. So that water will help with that. All right, and that's that. Next to it, I'm basically growing it in the same bed that those 30 or so Leelanau sweet glow plants are going to be growing in. There's about 25 in this bag here alone. It's an experiment. I'm sorry that the camera is going out of focus. It's because my sweat is all over the screen and it's messing with the focus. So I'm just gonna finish watering and then end this video because I won't be able to catch much with y'all. Just gonna water these Leelanau sweet glows in. I also transplanted some longevity spinach. If you can see those tall stalks, those are longevity spinach. Leelanau is actually growing fast, and it's growing faster in this grow bag than it's growing on the ground, which is a unique sight. I didn't expect that to happen. So they seem to do, come on, there we are. So they seem to do a little bit better in these grow bags, which are so far away from the earth. They're about 2 feet tall, 1.5 to 2 feet tall, the grow bag. So that's a long ways for that root to go to reach the earth where there's a lot more water or moisture in the ground. But you can see the true leaves on these guys here. And then if we look down here, these are much smaller. So I guess the grow bag method is a superior method even to the containers, the 6-inch containers. So I'm just doing some watering because these little guys haven't been getting water, but I'm guessing I'm going to especially water the grow bag ones since they're thriving so much. I want to have at least 30 Leelanaus if I have at least 30 plants, but honestly I like to get multiple watermelons per plant, so I'm hoping for that, hoping to get multiple. You can see in this 6-inch container down here there's 3 Leelanau sweet glows. How well would these all these plants do in this garden bed here? I have no clue, because I once planted a Congo in this bed and it had 7 watermelons on one vine, and the vine literally, if we can just get a outside view of the bed, the Congo vine literally took over this whole garden bed. Matter of fact, I'm going to tag the video in the description so you can see how it looked when there was one Congo vine growing in here that literally had 7 watermelons on it. Now those were big watermelons, and I'm not sure how big Leelanau gets, and nor am I sure how large the vine gets. The other variety was also, Congo was also known to be a longer season variety than Leelanau. Leelanau is supposed to be a 80-day variety, but that Congo took like 100+ days or so. I'm calling it a Congo, but it was actually a crossbreed. The seeds were crossed when I got them, but they were supposed to be Congo. I got the seeds from Home Depot. It was a Ferry Morse package, so the company was Ferry Morse, and I thought it was Congo, but when I grew it, I know that definitely wasn't a Congo. So I still haven't grown a Congo yet, but I know that wasn't a Congo because when I looked online, it didn't look anything like it, so it had to be a crossbreed. But it was actually a good crossbreed, and I saved seeds from it. And you know what? I'm gonna plant some of those saved seeds. That was 4 years ago. I'm gonna plant some of those saved seeds this year. I've been meaning to test it out because I'm hoping that those seeds will breed true, because that's a unique variety and I'm pretty sure nobody else has it unless you were in New Orleans that same year and bought Ferry Morse Congo watermelon seeds from Home Depot that same year. So that's that. I have one more little Leelanau that sprouted late right here in a 4-inch container. I tell you, like, those things, people are surprised when they see me planting like that. They're like, how you gonna grow it in those little small containers? They're gonna grow. I've been doing it since year 1. I actually was, believe it or not, I actually started off growing the seeds in bricks. So if you turn a brick on its side, like a house brick, if you turn it on its side and have the holes facing the ground, I use that as a raised bed. And I can prove that to you. I can definitely prove it to you. Not making this up. These green onions here, these are from my first year of gardening. I bought them from Whole Foods and I plugged them right into the brick. You can see this is a house. Let me take the camera off. Okay, I accidentally ended the video there, but these are house bricks. It's hard to see now because the soil has been spilling out of the garden bed and is piling up on the side of the bricks, but these are house bricks. Regular size house bricks, and you can see the brick holes right there. My original plan was to have just have a garden even along just in the bricks. Matter of fact, here's a better example. So that's the brick, and the green onion is growing right out of the brick hole because I plugged it into there. This milkweed right here, this is butterfly milkweed, is growing out of the brick hole. I had basil plants growing out of the brick holes. It's a little more complicated than it sounds, but you can get it done. But I had a big basil plant, spicy bush basil or something like that, growing out of the brick holes. All type of stuff. I was just experimenting. I love experimenting. That's the beauty of my YouTube channel. I experiment with all types of methods. So if one thing doesn't work, you best believe something else will. So that's that, y'all. Oh, man, I'm about to go clean up. I'm just covered in sweat. I'm covered in more sweat than I am in dirt. So I'm about to clean up. I'm gonna start doing some updates on the watermelons and the melon plants soon. Santo Domingo Casaba is planted, fertilized, and watered. I wish I had some worm castings that would have completed the planting, but I'm doing what I can at this moment. Lila Nau was watered in. It's supposed to be an 80-day variety. I assume we're about 2 weeks in, so what, 66 days left? See y'all in the next one.